Let me show you guys my plants.
Last year, I helped my aunt do her garden in her backyard. So when I got to my mom's house in Houston, I was like, I need to do some because when I come home, I do not want to look at this boring ass shrubbery. It was just nothing. This is how it looked when it was at its best, but still, I was like, fuck no, this shit gotta go, like today. I was really inspired by my great grandma. Her garden is gorgeous. Nana just be doing the damn thing. So I started off with these azaleas. It was an eye project, but it quickly turned to we when I made my best friend come and help me. We got these little tiny plants. They were really pretty.
What the fuck?
But then this happened. Yeah, my mom, she has like, I wouldn't even say a gardener. Our neighbor cuts her grass, and sometimes he's just not conscious of what the fuck he's doing. So a lot of the plants sometimes were getting fucked off. But then I noticed with these small flowers, they'll come, like they wouldn't last that long. Some of them would last, but some of them would just die. And it's sad because they were so pretty. So I kept like having to replace them. We had to replace a lot, especially around the tree. So when the ones around the tree were kind of dying, I just took them out and put them somewhere else. I don't know if it was because of insufficient light or what, but yeah, that's what we had to do. I really wanted these foxgloves, so I got them. But then quickly realized they are not for Houston climate. Like, I was being real delusional about them. Like, I really wanted them to last. They were so pretty, but nah, that wasn't it. Then we got some bougainvillea. Being in California, you see bougainvillea everywhere. So pretty. But then David, he killed this one, and I was really sad. It took about 3 weeks for us to start seeing growth on them. They were really looking screwed up how they were in the first picture. But once they started growing, baby, they would not stop. They were just doing what I thought they would do. They were really pretty, growing fast. And I'm, like, so impressed by them. Like, yeah! But really cute. This is how they look now. They're huge. And then I wanted a focus plant for the back. So I was like, hibiscus. So we did some hibiscus, but then they were droopy. So we had to bring them in the house. I guess they were stressed. We got them from Home Depot. No telling what they were doing with them plants up there. Brought them in for about 2 days. Kept them out of the light. Watered it. Kept it really watered. And when they were perked up about this, we brought them back out. But I didn't want them in the back anymore, so we put them right behind the azaleas. Got a third one. And this is how they looked a few days after bringing them back outside. They were looking really good again. They weren't flowering. I think I was having too much nitrogen on the fertilizer, but yeah, I noticed when we get plants from like Walmart or Home Depot, whatever they doing, I don't know. This one didn't droop how the first two did, but I was picking leaves out that thing for days. Like, they were just coming off yellow. And I'm a big pruner. Like, I love to prune, so yeah, we were just fixing them. But once we got them good, the blooms on them were nice, like so pretty. The flowers we got, I picked them based on the color of the brick. So I did like pinks, yellow, a little bit of yellows, orange, reds, mainly pinks and reds. Really pretty. But then I noticed that hibiscus was different from the other two. I was telling David, like, it kind of irritated me, but whatever. Then we got these roses, so pretty. They were called ketchup and mustard. We should never get a plant in full bloom again, because this is how it looked quickly after all the blooms died. The blooms stay for about a few weeks, but then after that, it looked like this. Of course, it started to grow again. But still, yeah, I wouldn't do that again. It took a while for blooms to come back. I would say about like 2 or 3 weeks. But when they did, the greenery on it, the leaves looked nice. The flowers were healthy. So yeah, roses, they just need a lot of care and time. But when I left, my sister sent me this, and this is how they look again. I don't know what the fuck. Azaleas I got, they weren't in bloom anymore after I put them in the ground. They were just pretty green foliage. The one back there, it's a different variety. But when I went to the store, I was like, what the fuck? And they were like, yeah, it's not the blooming season for them. So they were just like this. I got these two after I got the first two in that first picture I shown. And they looked really nice. The very first two I got, they started looking like that. I was like, what the hell? Like, they just weren't pretty anymore. And then eventually, they look like this. This is a video my sister sent me, and they're ablated. They're not even ablated because they just lost their leaves. But anyways, I got a Peggy Martin. We picked out this one. Really pretty climbing rose. I saw it on the internet and I told David, like, we gotta get this one. He was like, yeah, that one's hard. So we got it and it wasn't in bloom. She told me it wouldn't bloom for the rest of the year, but it bloomed. Fuck. But yeah, the blooms were popping up. I had a little problem with this one at first with the little mold, I guess from excessive rain. But once I fertilized it, we got it back up and running. It was really pretty. The leaves were growing out. They grow really quickly because it is a climbing rose. I don't know why we didn't put it on a trellis. We kept talking about it, but we never did. But look at those blooms. Once it blooms, it's so gorgeous, like for real. But then quickly turned into this. So my sister sent me this. Like, it's out of fucking control. Like, I have to get that on a trellis. I either got a David to do it or the gardener. But this is my gardening attire. Comfortable. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Then we got a Mandevilla. I really loved it. So pretty. No progress, but it just looked like that. And then I saw this lady outside the store. She had these. Found out that was lantana. And I was like, yeah, I need that. I need that. And then I realized it was a companion plant for hibiscus. So in these little holes I'm showing, I went to put it there. Eventually I cut the azalea so it can have some breathing room. And those are the lantana. Those are pink and yellow. They're so fucking gorgeous. And when I tell y'all, that flower smells so good. That's me sniffing it. Oh my god, it smells so fucking good. Like, I was obsessed. Yeah, we got it in full bloom again, but hey, when we got it was the blooming season. Looks so well with these hibiscus. Like, I'm fucking obsessed with it. And yeah, they say lantana spread, so we're gonna see. But eventually they lost their leaves. If it covers that whole area in between, that's fine. But that's how they look now. I could already see they're getting taller. Next we got a hydrangea. This one was like called frog something, I forget, but it's so pretty. It had a lot of water spots though. I guess it was raining a lot before I left. A lot of rain, but it has to be watered a lot because Houston is hot as fuck. This is how it looks now. Next we got some birds of paradise. The birds of paradise was my focal plant. I was like, yeah, that one, when it gets huge, that's my focal plant. I eventually was able to separate it into 3, and that third one you saw in the pot, I gave it to the neighbor because I just didn't want 3 back there. 2 was enough. Then I wanted a little lily garden, so we got some canal lilies from the neighbors, and then we put some lily bulbs in the ground, some stargazer lilies. That little one you see, that's a stargazer. The canal lilies were kind of because we got them from the neighbor. So they would flower, but then they would droop. And then I started cutting them bitches down because I was like, this shit looks bad. But then I realized I made it look worse. But of course, they pop up quick. They grow really fast. So that was that, them growing. But they looked like shit for a while. And the lily bulbs, that only one that flowered up was growing. The rest of them, we got some David wanted some spider lilies so bad. So we put those in the ground. They aren't growing yet though. That's another canal lily. I put that in the front right now, and this is how it looks now. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about the canals. I have to be there in real life, but I'm not. And then since I took my beloved foxgloves out, I wanted something to put there. At first I was like snapdragons, but it's too hot for snapdragons right now. So the ladies at the plant store, it's like, get some salvia. So we got some salvia. Salvia is really pretty. We got 2 varieties. I forgot the names, and then I got these little lollipop flower. I also forgot the name of that one, but I got a bunch of pinks and peach colored, apricot colored flowers. Put them there. So fucking pretty. And then this dragon's breath, oh yeah, I was fucking with it. It was really pretty. And we got some red ones and put the red ones over there. The salvia were really droopy at first. I had sat them in there like what I bought them in the pots overnight, but it was so fucking windy, so they were on the ground. So when I put them in the ground, they were still slumped over, except for those were standing up. But really hefty flowers, and they propagate on their own. So when they're time to grow next spring, they'll be every fucking where. I put the red ones over here just because that was an empty spot. Look at the pretty butterfly. But yeah, the garden was looking really nice at this point. Like, we got it all filled up. I didn't want to put too much just because I wanted room for growth. But then we got some seeds. We kind of jumped the gun on this. We said we were going to do it in the winter. I got some, you already heard the seeds I got for that. But that's my pretty orchid. And then we started some garlic. Those are the cucumber. And then I did try my hand at some watermelon. It worked, but when I transplanted them out to California, so next year we'll do it. But thanks for watching.